All right, details are out now about Memphis-Shelby County Schools Interim Superintendent Dr. Roderick Richmond's contract, and we're getting into the comparisons between his deal versus others before him. So a quick recap of what his contract entails. $325,000 annual salary, that's the same as Feagins, and that expires in July of 2026. The board can reassign him to another district post within that time if they so choose. And then the one thing that people were really hung up on was the fact that it lacked an ethics clause. That Feagins contract was required, and then this one will have no buyouts if everything ends up in flames. So that's kind of a rough, just very big topics within the contract, but there's definitely more. I do want to turn it now to, let's start with Otis. Otis, just your reading of the understanding. Do you think this is a fair? Do you think this is standard?
Well, I mean, all superintendents have been getting those kinds of pay in their contracts, so I'm not going to be exercised about that. The only thing I'll say here is that it's better to have things in writing. And I heard that, or I read that the attorney, I think it was Justin Bailey, was talking about there are other ethics and clauses because he's a tenured member of the school system that would apply. But you need to have the stuff in writing. It needs to be in the contract so that there's no ambiguity. And if it ever comes down to that, go to what's in writing. If it's not in writing, we got a problem.
And I do want to shout out Daily Memphian because they did such a fabulous article on it. But Mark, I want to talk about the lack of ethics clause there. One person wrote in and said, did MSCS not learn anything from Dr. Joris Ray? Your thoughts on this lack of an ethics clause?
Well, I would just echo what Otis said. Again, I think we've had poor communication from beginning to end with MSCS and with the past superintendent. And so why wouldn't we start out very transparent for everybody, from the Superintendent Richmond to the school board, quite frankly to all elected officials. We need ethics clauses out there, and I don't understand it. The one thing I will say about the salary, I wish they would have made the salary a little bit less and then put in some performance bonuses to see the needle move. Again, I think the salary is comparable to what other superintendents have. However, why not put in some bonuses in there based on performance or communication or some of the milestones that the school board wants to see?
Okay, and thoughts, Pastor Norman?
Best guy gets the worst deal. He comes along, he's the casualty of war, of all of the things that have happened prior to him. He was the candidate who everybody believes now can really pull it all together. He has the community support. He has the support of the unions and the teachers, but he gets the deal right now that is the unintended consequences of all of the people before him. I think he can survive through this and get to July of 26 and renegotiate the deal.
Okay. Well, we'll see about that. I just think that, yeah, he may be a casualty of all the other things that have gone wrong, especially the school board itself. And we still have the specter out there of a state takeover, and we don't know where that's going to land. So there's so many uncertainties.
Otis, this is like paying for what your girlfriend's previous boyfriend did.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like it.
Okay, I do want to kill two birds with one stone in this segment, so let's move to Senator Brent Taylor's latest move to try to remove Steve Mulroy, Shelby County District Attorney, and not just him either. He is calling for other district attorneys around the state. I'll start with Mark on this one.
Sure.
Your thoughts on, he wants to get the state Supreme Court involved in his move. What's that a sign of? Does he have support? Does he not?
Well, I think he absolutely has support, but I think my colleagues will probably disagree with me, but I think he's trying to take the partisanship out of it by giving it to the Supreme Court. When you want to remove a judge, there's a judicial review for judges. When you want to remove a lawyer, there's an appropriate way to do that. I think what Senator Taylor is trying to do is let this Tennessee Supreme Court appoint a judicial group specifically for district attorneys and clerks to review when they do go off the grid or there's a concern. There's someone to go to address that issue. Right now, DAs are very unique, and right now in Tennessee, you have 3 DAs that people are concerned about. Glenn Funk and Chris Stanford, I think, and then D.A. Mulroy. And so I think he does have the support, but I think he's trying to do it in a very professional manner.
Okay.
I'm going to let you say that.
I knew
I'm gonna let
somebody
you
was
go
going to jump in here.
Mission accomplished. I think he's already gotten the attention of D.A. Mulroy. I think to go further is to do what I've said on this show many times. You're trying to kill a fly with a sledgehammer at this point. You've gotten his attention. Mulroy has responded. The reforms are now moving in the right direction, and he's not trying to bring justice through lowering bails and giving low sentences. And so now that we're on the right track, let's keep moving on that track and leave this alone.
Quick 30 seconds, Otis.
This is an absolute farce by Senator Taylor. He knows he does not have the support of even his colleagues in the legislature to get rid of Mulroy. So he created this avenue and then tried to lump in a Republican DA who shot at, he was guilty of reckless endangerment. Steve Mulroy has done nothing even remotely close to that. This is a failed attempt by Brent Taylor to try to save face.
On Monday, Pepper, this will be before the committee in Nashville, and my prediction is it's going to pass.
Wow. Okay.
Well, this might pass, but I'm
gonna
talking
bet?
about the effort to just get rid of Mulroy on their own. That won't pass. And the fact that we still don't know if the state Supreme Court is going to even do what they are asking them to do.
Yeah, and I think we're just arguing about different things. Otis is saying this is all about Mulroy. I think this is about an attempt at a new process. Let the Tennessee Supreme Court create this group for judicial review. So when someone, a DA or a court clerk, isn't doing their job, there's a way to go after that person.
Okay, we're going
Time out.
to. We are probably going to have to